Okay, here's a thought. What is a philosopher from way back, like over 1,600 years ago, actually holds a key, maybe the key to the future of artificial intelligence?
It seems pretty wild, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now, you might be hearing that and thinking, wait, St. Augustine and AI together. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds like a massive leap. But honestly, when I first came across this connection, I uh, I had to know more. My ears definitely perked up.
It's an incredible thought, really. And what's truly fascinating here is how these incredibly old, timeless philosophical questions about time and consciousness, they're actually giving us practical answers for cutting-edge AI research right now.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're doing today. We're taking a deep dive into this unexpected link, the profound relevance of St. Augustine's ideas about time for modern AI cognition.
Yeah, how his thoughts are shaping AI.
Right. Our sources, they're this really interesting mix looking at medieval philosophy of time and how it connects, surprisingly, to artificial cognitive perception. So our mission, really, is to unpack how Augustine's ancient insights are genuinely guiding the development of AI systems. Systems that can think, decide, maybe even understand time more like we do.
It's amazing, like bridging millennia of thought to solve today's problems.
So, okay, let's start with Augustine himself. His way of thinking about time, it was really groundbreaking because he focused on the experience of time, right? What philosophers call a phenomenological view.
Exactly. It wasn't just about objective clock time for him.
No, it was about how we subjectively kind of weave together our past, our present, and our future awareness. Like right now, as you're listening to us, you're aware of what you just heard a second ago. You're hearing this instant, and you're already kind of anticipating what might come next.
That's it, precisely. Augustine saw time not as these separate little boxes, these discrete moments, but as a unified continuous flow. He really wrestled with that duality. Our internal subjective feeling of time versus the external, measurable, objective time.
And why is that so important?
Well, it's vital for AI because if you just look at time points in isolation, like separate data entries, you completely miss the dynamic flowing nature of how time actually works, how we perceive it. For us humans, our past, present, future, they're all tangled up together. And Augustine's genius was capturing that complexity.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for AI then. If Augustine got this subjective flowing time thing, how on earth does modern AI start to replicate that? How does it make sense of time like a human? Because, I mean, a simple timestamp on a piece of data, that doesn't feel very human, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't, not on its own. To really get close to human temporality, AI needs to do more. It needs to represent and, crucially, reason about these relationships between moments, just like we perceive them subjectively.
So what does that mean in terms of building an AI?
It means building in mechanisms for things like memory, right? That's the connection to the past. Then attention, which is about centering in the present moment, and anticipation, the bridge to the future. Augustine's framework, it's not just a nice parallel. It almost provides a kind of philosophical blueprint for thinking about these interconnected states.
Right. So that isolated timestamp, like just knowing what happened at 3:05 p.m. exactly, that's just not enough for, say, complex decision-making.
Precisely not. Think about autonomous vehicles for a second. A self-driving car.
Okay.
It's simply not enough for that car to only know what's happening right now. To navigate safely down a busy street, it has to integrate future possibilities predicting where that pedestrian might step or where that other car is going.
And its past experiences too, I guess.
Exactly. Remembering maybe tricky intersections or road conditions from 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Without that deeper temporal reasoning, that weaving together, it would be, frankly, dangerous. It wouldn't work. And this is where Augustine's idea of subjective versus objective time really clicks for AI development. You can have an AI system implement, say, temporal tokens. Those are like the objective isolated moments, the timestamps. But you also need temporal constraints, the relationships between those moments. That captures the flow, the subjective feel.
And that lets the AI do more.
Much more. It allows the machine to start inferring causality. This happened because of that, to forecast what might happen next, and even to justify its own decisions about when the best time to act is.
That's really fascinating. So it's not just one way of looking at time for the AI. You mentioned modeling time's granularity using both instants and periods. I guess most of us just think of time as, one continuous stream, but Augustine saw different aspects.
He absolutely did. And AI benefits from that distinction. So
Right.
you have instant-based models. These are great when you need pinpoint precision. Think detecting a tiny anomaly in network traffic, or high-frequency stock trading where milliseconds matter, or monitoring equipment in real time.
Okay, super precise moments.
Right. But then you have period-based models. These are much better for reasoning about things that overlap or have duration, like figuring out if one event happened during another event or how long something lasted. This really echoes Augustine's distinction between the fleeting instant and the more enduring period.
And you can combine these.
Yes, exactly. You can build this dual approach, this dual ontology, fancy term, for how we structure the knowledge of time in the AI right into systems. Think about logistics software planning routes, or robots needing adaptive scheduling, or even chatbots that need to hold a coherent conversation with you over days, not just seconds.
Okay, but this sounds like it bumps up against a real philosophical knot, something called the divided instant problem.
Yeah.
You mentioned Augustine grappling with this. If the present is always slipping away, how do you even model it? How do you model something that seems like it's always between moments?
Yeah, that's a profound challenge he identified, and it becomes a practical one for AI. If the now is infinitely divisible, where do you pin it down? Augustine saw time flowing from the future through this vanishing present into the past. It's almost paradoxical.
So how does AI handle that paradox? How does it model continuity if the instant is so tricky?
Well, AI systems tackle this using some clever mathematical and logical tools. Things like fuzzy logic. Think of fuzzy logic as allowing for degrees of truth, not just yes or no, black or white, but shades of gray. And also possibilistic semantics, which helps the AI manage uncertainty, considering what might be true, not just what is definitely true.
So it kind of smooths out the gaps between moments.
In a way, yes. It helps bridge those in-between states, achieving a better sense of continuity between the timestamps. And having both models, the instant-based for sharp action control like turn now, and the period-based for managing durations like maintain this altitude for 30 seconds is absolutely critical, especially for time-sensitive decisions.
Like in drones or robots again.
Exactly. Think autonomous robots in a warehouse or drone deliveries. It directly impacts safety altitude. Direction changes need precise timing. And effectiveness calculating the exact distance and flight duration for a delivery, knowing when something starts and how long it should last. That's essential for them to operate safely and, well, ethically too.
This is really pushing things, isn't it? It feels like we're moving beyond just, when things happen into the territory of why they matter.
Yeah.
More about context, maybe even intentionality.
Indeed, we are. Contemporary cognitive AI is actually trying to leverage Augustine's ideas about our internal sense of time, our awareness, our plans, versus the sequence of external events happening around us. Getting that balance right is really crucial.
Where would we see that?
Well, think about virtual assistants again. To be truly helpful, they need more than just command response. They need deep memory models to recall your preferences, maybe remember the context of a conversation you started yesterday, and maintain that dialogue coherently over time.
Right, so it remembers what happened during the last few days.
Exactly, and there's this concept of dynamic knowledge refreshing. The AI system isn't static. It continuously reevaluates its understanding of the context and its goals based on new temporal information. It adjusts its priorities. It's trying to simulate how we humans constantly integrate our past experiences with our current plans and future intentions.
Yeah. This raises a huge question for me. If AI gets this good at reasoning about time, does it actually understand the meaning of time? Like, does it get why Tuesday is different from Saturday, beyond just the label?
You've hit on the core of the intentionality problem, the deep philosophical question about whether machines can truly have meaning or understanding. As critics like Dietrich have pointed out, understanding time isn't just about logging sequences of events.
It's more than just ordering things.
Much more. It's about assigning significance, knowing what's urgent versus what can wait, grasping why the order of events matters, knowing when something must happen for a goal to be achieved effectively.
And this ties into ethics, too, you mentioned.
Absolutely. For AI to make genuinely ethical decisions, especially complex ones, it needs to use this process sense of time to evaluate the context properly. Think about that autonomous robot again, choosing between tasks. Task A might be quicker, but task B might be more ethically important or urgent based on the time frame. Time becomes a critical factor in weighing those options, deciding what must come first. It mirrors how we prioritize based on deadlines or potential consequences over time.
So we're seeing AI that tries to model different levels of time awareness.
Yes, particularly with what are called hybrid AI systems. These try to combine different approaches like symbolic AI for more explicit, conscious-like reasoning and connectionist AI, like neural networks, for more intuitive, unconscious-like adaptation and learning from patterns over time.
Kind of like our own conscious and subconscious processes.
Yeah. Sort of modeling that idea, yes. This allows for continuous learning and adaptation based on time-changing data. Think about systems designed to predict when industrial equipment might fail based on subtle sensor readings over weeks, or AI monitoring a patient's condition, looking for trends over hours or days. This layered approach really aligns with Augustine's intuition about different levels of temporality coexisting in our own experience, from the fleeting present moment to our long-term memories and future plans.
Wow. So, okay, let's try and wrap this up. What does this all mean for you, listening right now? I mean, it sounds like these deep, almost ancient philosophical questions that people like Augustine wrestled with centuries ago.
Mhm.
They're not just history. They are actively shaping our technological future.
They really are.
It's impacting everything from, the next generation of virtual assistants to the fundamental safety systems and self-driving cars. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most innovative solutions, the real breakthroughs, can come from looking back from the most unexpected places.
And maybe there's something else here too. As AI research makes genuine progress in modeling time, in showing how complex and, well, real temporal processing needs to be for intelligence, perhaps it actually gives some new food for thought back to philosophy.
How so?
Well, for philosophers still debating the fundamental nature of time, is it real, is it an illusion? Seeing AI require such sophisticated temporal modeling to achieve cognitive tasks, it kind of supports the idea that time, in all its dimensions, past, present, future, subjective, objective, is fundamental. It supports Augustine's view, really, that consciousness itself is deeply intertwined with experiencing time in its fullness.
So maybe the next time you feel time just flying by, or maybe it's dragging on forever, or you catch yourself lost in a memory or planning something for next week, just consider this. You're experiencing something incredibly complex, a kind of temporal truth that even the most advanced AI is still fundamentally striving to fully grasp. Your own experience might just be the ultimate model.